What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Homestead. Welcome back. Well, good morning. It's Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Are you ready for some football? Come on. Come on. I know I am. We got the Bucks in the Super Bowl this year at home. Never happened like that before in history. That's pretty cool. And being that I live here in Florida, I'm going to have to go with the Bucks. So come on, Tom Brady. Get you another one there, buddy. But as much as I would love to watch the Super Bowl today, I don't know if that's going to happen. I think Mother Nature's had other plans. For the last 3 days here on the Homestead, it has been raining like crazy. And last night was the worst night of them all. We had tornado warnings, a lot of high winds. And I had some extremely high winds coming off those lakes that's about a block away. And it was moving that fifth wheel worse than it's ever been since I've been living in there. And I kind of figured that I was going to come out this morning to quite a bit of damage, and well, I was right. If you look in the background back there, that's actually my driveway, and you ain't driving in it. It's completely blocked off. We had a big old pine rip the top out of it, and there's limbs laying everywhere. And that canopy I showed you on that video that 2021's already kicking my butt, where it tore down half of it, well, it finished it off last night. And not only that, the only canopy I had left to store my stuff up under got destroyed last night as well, which makes it very important and top priority for me to get those lean-tos done in that outdoor kitchen and get my stuff out of the weather before I have to take a huge loss in money with all of my equipment and tools getting destroyed out here in the weather. You know, a lot of channels out there just show the good of homesteading. Well, we don't do that here at Come On Homestead, and I'm going to show you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the truth about homesteading. It's not always peaches and cream and biscuits and gravy. Come on. You know, you got to take your lumps every once in a while, and Mother Nature, she always wins. So I'm going to walk you around today, do a little vlog style video, show you the damage that took place here on the homestead, but I probably won't show you all of it. Just the parts that's really an immediate threat to the homestead right now. We probably ended up with about 20 trees down in the woods, which is no big deal because it's out in the woods and it really doesn't matter. But the fact that my driveway is blocked off and that the canopies are destroyed, that right there is the real big threat to the homestead right now. So let's go ahead and grab the camera and walk around a little bit, and I'll kind of show you a little bit of the damage that took place last night. Now this is the canopy that we showed on the 2021's kicking my butt already, and at that time it was only the back section that kind of got damaged. Well, last night the wind ripped through here and went ahead and took out the rest of it. I don't think I'm going to be able to save it this time. But as you can see, it mangled it up pretty good. But it's pretty much just a big pretzel of metal at this point. Canopy's still in good shape though. I'll be able to use it as a tarp. And these are some big tarps. I think they're 22 by 40. So pretty good sized tarps. Probably what I'm going to have to do is just go ahead and take the tarps from these canopies and just go ahead and cover up my boats for the time being. I should be able to get the lean-to done and get my tools out of there in the next couple of days. But it's pretty much a done deal. It's definitely twisted them all up pretty good. All the connections are all bent and busted. There's still a lot of good usable poles and material here. But what I'll end up doing is taking a chop saw, cutting them down. And as you can see, here's a graveyard of the other canopies that's gotten destroyed or what I was able to salvage. So now I'm about to add 2 more 18 by 40 foot canopy poles to that pile. But basically what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to cut the sections a lot smaller, use the same connections and angles, and actually build a greenhouse. But it'll be a lot stronger than these canopies because I'm going to shorten the distance of the runs between the poles quite a bit, which should strengthen it up. And I'm also going to use that corrugated plastic decking to actually make the greenhouse, which will be a lot more stable than the tarps that hold it together as it is. All right, let's take a walk in the driveway. This is a pretty good sized oak tree, and as you can see, quite a few of the limbs are missing. And it's because they're on the ground. I don't know if the camera's going to show the size of them that well, but they're pretty good size. And right here's the big problem. Pretty much got my whole driveway blocked. I'm gonna have to get the chainsaw and the tractor out and get this moved so I can actually get out. Probably could go right around it, but we're not gonna leave it that way, because if I am able to watch the game tonight, I'm gonna have some people over and we're gonna eat some chicken wings if I can get all of this stuff done in time. But pretty much it ripped out the whole top of that pine tree. I know Matt Payne there, he likes the old pine trees. Well, here's the reality of pine trees. It happens quite a bit. I tell you what, it took some strong wind to rip the top of that pine tree out. Let's see if I can zoom up there and show y'all where it came from there. Well, right there's the tree that it popped out of. And that's not a little pine tree either. We definitely had some high winds out here. I don't know if the camera does justice of how big that the top of this pine tree is that got ripped off up there, but I'm 6'2" and 220 pounds, so I'm gonna stand up next to it and kind of show you how big it is and exactly what kind of winds had to rip through here to be able to rip the top of that tree out. Now that's big, that's real big. But hey, it happens. But this should give you a little bit of perspective exactly how big that the top of this tree was and how strong the winds were out here on the homestead last night. It was a little scary, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, when that fifth wheel started moving, boy, it had me pucker up a little bit. And the fact that it could rip such a big section of pine out the top of the pine trees kind of lets you know exactly how strong those winds were. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the last canopy. Really the biggest issue that I have to deal with today. I got to get something done with this last canopy because I don't want my equipment just out here in the weather, because somehow I don't think the rain's going to stop anytime soon. All right, this is the main canopy. Really the only canopy I had left to store all of my tools. But as you can see, it ain't going to store much anymore. Bent all the poles on there all the way down. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. Yep, pretty much done. It's holding water in the back right there. Over here you can see where it actually picked it up and slammed it into this tree and just bent that whole pole. And believe it or not, I did have it tied off with ropes, and it's also screwed to the main structure back there, but that still didn't save it. I mean, it moved it probably 10 feet. Right there's the ropes that I had it tied down with. It went ahead and snapped those. Caved all of this in. But definitely got some work ahead of me, but it's alright. But I believe I can salvage this one, take some of the poles off the other twisted up canopies and be able to kind of make this one work for the time being, but that's still only a temporary solution. So we're about to hit these lean-tos and this outdoor kitchen hard this next week and see if I can get all of my stuff out of the weather. I'm done with the temporary fix to store my stuff. It's time to get a more permanent thing out here on the homestead. With winds like this coming off this lake, this isn't going to stop happening. So it's up to me to figure out a solution. So ain't nothing to it but to do it. So we're going to get it done. Alright guys, I realize this is definitely a different type of video for me. Probably not going to be the best editing and the best audio and video quality. But I want to make sure that I show you guys all of homesteading, not just the good parts. I wanted to show y'all the parts that a lot of people don't show. The good, the bad, and the ugly here on this channel. It's not always peaches and cream out here. You got to deal with adversity and problems. That's half of homesteading, is being able to deal with a problem as it comes, because it never happens at a good time, I assure you that. So until we see each other again, guys, come on, let's go homesteading.